Well, welcome back to NJ Today. Next up, meet the mayor of one of the most beautiful residential areas in all of New Jersey, North Caldwell Mayor Joe Alessi. Mayor Joe, welcome.
Hey, John.
It's so good to see you, Joe. I'm so excited for you. You're just going to start what will be a 4-year term as mayor of that great township.
Thank you very much. Yeah, January 1st, I'm going to get sworn in. You can do it anywhere in the first 7 days, but my daughter lives in San Francisco, and she's leaving on the 2nd, so it's got to be the 1st.
You got to do it by then. Now, Joe, you served for close to 10 years on the governing body, on the council, so God knows you have the correct experience. And you're leaving, or leaving was Mel Levine, who had been a really beloved mayor, dedicated his self to that town, and is now your BA. You're pretty lucky. Your BA is your right-hand man.
We're absolutely. The expression is, Mel bleeds North Caldwell, and it was great. I was a council president, and Mel is, he knows everybody in town, and he knows the town. So, and he's Johnny on the spot with getting things done. So we're very fortunate. We have a small but very good group of people.
Well, let's talk about small. About the population of
6,300.
So tiny.
Yeah, tiny, and like maybe 23 households or something like that.
And for those that don't know the school systems, you have your own elementary school.
Exactly.
Right?
And then we have West Essex, which is 4 sending districts. It's in our town. It's Roseland, Essex Fells, Fairfield, and North Caldwell.
North Caldwell. So that's a well-reputed high school. You've got a great local system of schools and a beautiful tree-lined, bucolic community.
Yeah, and lots of deer.
Well, now, as I'm saying, all the wonderful things about the town that you're mayor of, you've got your challenges, too. Talk about those, especially now here in 2010, 2011.
Well, we were both down at the League of Municipalities, and I went to 4 seminars, and yours was definitely the most important on the toolkit. I mean, it's a very challenging time. We always ran pretty lean and mean, and now even more so. We did, and we were lucky that we were able to do it with attrition. To
lay people off is tough, Joe.
It is. What do you call it? Lori Griffith, the commissioner
at DCA.
DCA, she said that there was a relative that had been out of work for 2 years and had no prospects. So it's a terrible thing. So the mantra is shared services, and I think that's great. We share services with Essex Fells, Caldwell, Fairfield, and West Caldwell, because you have to do it.
Now, I know you have 2 lovely children, I think 23 and 20 years of age.
Exactly the same as yours.
Same close to mine.
Yeah.
And they're not being taken care of, although they're getting a little bit older, taking care of themselves on the mayor's salary, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, my daughter, this is the best story. As a councilman, you make $1,500. So my daughter said to me, she's a banker. She said to me, Daddy, she says, how much more do you make as mayor? So I said, $500. And she says to me, yeah, well, good luck with that. And I said to her, yeah, but I can do weddings. He was not impressed.
Well, there you go. That's at least $100 a month. That's good, Joe.
It's a $500 is $500.
Well, I know that you, on the other end of it, are a fine lawyer. You worked in the Essex County Prosecutor's Office in the beginnings of your career, and still do privately some criminal practice and some family law. So
right, yeah, I do a lot of transactional. I've been all over. I worked in Wall Street for a while, was in the prosecutor's office, and then I decided to go on my own, and I'm happy.
What's your favorite thing about your town?
I think it's the community. They call it the green jewel of Essex County. We have a beautiful swimming pool there. It looks like a private club. We have like the menorah tree lighting. In a lot of ways, it's like Hooterville, and that's a great thing to have. It's a great feeling of community and the people that are there.
And like many of us in this area, not 19 miles out of Manhattan on top of it, so you've got your own little cocoon that you can get into.
It's true, and a lot of people from Manhattan, as I'm sure, West Orange are finding that out and coming out and seeing that, but also in our area too.
Now, Joe, I know one of your loves is also as a person of Italian-American heritage.
Sicilian.
Sicilian. Don't mess with the mayor.
No, the Sicilians always consider themselves Sicilians before they do Italians. But yes, absolutely. Italian.
I know that you've been involved on a statewide level as it relates to Italian-American heritage organizations, the
commission, and you were very good. They set up. Governor DeFrancesco and Paul DiGaetano put together the Italian-American Heritage Commission, and you've been very helpful as one of our members of the caucus, and it does great work. And I'm president of the Center for Italian-American Culture, and I'm a NIAF representative. So yeah, I'm a professional Italian, I guess.
Joe, what are your feelings, as to that concern? I mean, there were issues. It's not playing any longer. The Sopranos, I guess you can still get it on demand, and I know there were some issues about propagating. But worse is this, Jersey Shore.
Yeah, and you know what? And Senator Cody said, and I totally believe this, it doesn't help New Jersey at all. I mean, besides the ethnic and the Italian portion, it doesn't help the state of New Jersey. See, with the Italians, there's two things. There was a poll that said throughout the United States, 70% of people think that if you're Italian, you have some connections or know somebody that's in the mob. On the other hand, they asked people what nationality do you want to be. 76% they'd want to be Italian. I don't know if one has to do with the other.
That's actually funny. I would like some connections.
No,
so
but
silly.
It does that. You can't boycott. You have to show the positives, and that's what I think we want to do.
I just know that work you do in promoting Italian culture and a lot of the accomplishments, like yourself, of Italian Americans that have come to this country, the opera, the music, the art, the architecture, just things that are the basis of our own society.
My father came here in 1913, right before World War I, and he was like a big fan of the opera. So he would buy the cheap seats. He would get a third-hand tales, because you did that in 1914, and he would just listen to the opera. So and my mother was very ethnic, so I speak Sicilian.
Well, you have 4 years in front of you speaking Sicilian to the great people of North Caldwell. Tell me what your plans are, Joe, for the next several years.
Well, one of the things, as we said, shared services. I think that's very important, because everything that I do, I think of, how can I save money for the town? Because, as you know, having been mayor for 12 years in West Orange and councilman before that, those are our bosses, and you have to look at every, dollar that you spend to make sure that you're spending it wisely and you're not cutting services, which is tough.
Now, I know how much you love the community. You're now the face of that great community. How many years, Joe, were you there for? 25?
We've been there 20, it's going to be 23.
Oh, okay. So you could save 20% taxes by becoming one with Caldwell. Would you do it?
I think I'm going to go better than that. I went to one other class, and they said that the ultimate is between 40 to 50,000 people.
That's true, as far as the most efficient way to do things.
If we could do, like the town of West Essex, I would not be the mayor. That would not be the end of the world. It's just like Maryland is like a perfect example. Everything is regional there. The taxes, I have a friend of mine that lives in a mansion. It costing him $8,000 a year. And that's why our taxes are so high.
So it's very interesting. So notwithstanding the pride that you have for the great community it is, that this would be something that would be on the table over the next 4 years.
I mean, well, that's my feeling. And my feeling is like, New York, they have different boroughs. I mean, you're never going to lose, the love of North Caldwell. It could be and this is just, my own, thinking. But my father grew up and my mother in the Depression, and I'm very much was taught a child of the Depression. And I think you got to look over and above status to help the citizens. That's just the way I feel.
Well, Joe, it's great that you have open mind to doing things a little differently than they may have been done for a couple generations before. And I know that the people of your community and the state and county are blessed to have your public service.
In fact, I'm planning a meeting, and I know we're all in the same boat. And I just was the first one to send out an email to the 6 mayors, including myself in West Essex, to just, obviously, we're not going to combine all the towns, but to try to do shared services.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing about those continued efforts, and it's fun to say you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. We've been the best of friends and have worked together forever.
You used to call me your favorite Republican, but I can honestly say, as our Assemblyman, you've always been there. Your staff, I am a John McKeon fan.
Well, that's nice to say, and a mutual admiration club, and thanks again, Joe.
Okay.